The gift of second chances. Marcus stood in the rain outside the building, his pink slip still clutched in his trembling hand, the words echoing in his mind like a cruel song, "We're downsizing. Your position is being eliminated. Effective immediately." Christmas Eve. Of all the days in the year, they had chosen Christmas Eve to shatter his world. The lights of the shopping district twinkled mockingly behind him, casting golden reflections on the wet pavement. He couldn't bring himself to look up, couldn't bear to see the joy radiating from the store windows, the families bundled in winter coats laughing and shopping for gifts he no longer had the money to buy. His phone buzzed in his pocket, his daughter Emma's reminder that she needed to pick him up in 10 minutes. How was he supposed to face her? How was he supposed to drive home and tell her that Christmas might be different this year, that Santa might not be coming after all, not because she hadn't been good, but because her father had failed her? If you believe in the power of kindness, second chances, and the transformative grace of human compassion, please like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Your support fuels these stories that remind us of our shared humanity. Marcus had worked at Hartley and Associates for 7 years. 7 years of early mornings, working through lunch breaks, taking extra projects home in the evenings. He wasn't just an employee, he was part of the furniture, the reliable one, the father who never complained when asked to stay late because he understood that bills needed paying and his daughter needed stability. But apparently, loyalty meant nothing in the corporate world. Apparently, efficiency measured in spreadsheets and quarterly reports meant more than the human cost of decisions. The company had hired Victoria Chen 3 months ago as a consultant, a shark in a designer suit with sharp eyes and a sharper tongue. She had immediately begun her aggressive restructuring program, slashing costs, eliminating what she called redundancies. Marcus had been one of them. But more than the job loss, more than the financial nightmare that was already unfurling in his mind like a horrifying scroll, it was the humiliation that cut deepest. To be walked out by security, to have his access badge revoked while colleagues watched from their desks, to be handed a box for his possessions, it was a public execution of his professional identity. He finally drove home, every red light feeling personal, every moment dragging. Emma was waiting on the porch, her small face bright with anticipation. "Dad! Dad! I made a Christmas list." She bounced toward the car, and Marcus's heart broke into 1,000 pieces. How could he look into those innocent eyes and tell her the truth? That night, after tucking Emma into bed with promises he wasn't sure he could keep, Marcus sat in the darkness of his small apartment, the weight of reality pressing down on his shoulders. The rent was due in 2 weeks. Christmas was in 8 days. His savings would barely last until February. For the first time in his adult life, Marcus felt genuinely afraid. He wasn't afraid of struggling, he'd grown up poor and had learned to make do. He was afraid of failing his daughter, of becoming the kind of father who had to explain why there was no Christmas tree, no presents, no magic. The next morning, as Marcus dragged himself to a coffee shop to update his resume with numb, mechanical movements, he nearly collided with Victoria Chen. She was standing in line, looking at her phone, and when she turned, their eyes locked. Recognition flickered across her face, followed by something that looked almost like surprise. But before he could say anything, before the familiar sting of anger could rise in his throat, Emma came running from the bathroom. He had brought her along, hoping the distraction might help her cope with his sudden availability during school hours, a luxury he'd never had before but could now afford all too easily. Emma crashed into his leg, wrapping her small arms around him, and in that moment, Marcus didn't care about Victoria Chen or her consulting firm or any of it. But Emma looked up at the woman, and something shifted. "Hi," Emma said brightly, her natural childhood friendliness unfiltered by the complications of the adult world. "Are you Dad's friend?" Victoria stared at the little girl, and Marcus watched as something moved behind her eyes, a flicker of recognition, perhaps, of what her cost-cutting measures had actually destroyed. It wasn't abstract anymore. It was a child in a frozen jacket asking if they were friends. To his absolute shock, Victoria didn't walk away. Instead, she smiled, a real smile, not the corporate mask she wore at the office, and spent 20 minutes talking to Emma about school and Christmas and dreams. When they parted ways, Victoria pressed her business card into Marcus's hand. "Come see me Monday," she said quietly. At the office. Marcus didn't know what to expect, but desperation is a powerful fuel. Monday morning, he walked back into the building that had rejected him, his heart pounding with a mixture of hope and dread. Victoria met him in a conference room, and for the first time, she wasn't the ruthless consultant. She was someone different, someone who had spent the weekend thinking about a little girl and her father's dignity. She told him about a position in a different department, one created specifically because she had demanded it. She told him it paid better than his previous job, with flexible hours to accommodate parenting. She told him that she had been wrong, that she had become so obsessed with the mathematics of business that she had forgotten the meaning of business was serving people. What followed was more than just a job. Victoria became a mentor, then a friend. She helped Marcus navigate the rebuilding of his life. For Christmas, she appeared at his apartment with Emma's gifts, telling him it was from Santa's helpers, and refusing his thanks. Over the following months, she showed up at Emma's school plays, celebrated her birthday, and slowly became part of their family in a way that neither of them had expected. The lesson wasn't that he got his job back. It was that sometimes the people we see as enemies are simply wounded souls who haven't yet learned to see the humanity in others. And sometimes, one moment of connection, one child's innocent smile, is all it takes to change everything. If this story touched your heart and reminded you why kindness matters, please engage with this video. Like it, comment with your thoughts and your own stories of unexpected grace, and share it with someone who needs to remember that second chances exist. Your comments fuel our mission here at Kindness Corner, ***. Please comment below, I believe in second chances, if this story moved you.